Excel accounting practice problem. Create accounting worksheet part number 4. Get ready, because we're about to excel with Excel. Here we are in our Excel worksheet. In prior presentations, we put this information together starting from scratch from a blank sheet. We're going to be continuing on from here. If you have access to this Excel worksheet, then there's going to be 2 tabs on down below, an example tab and a practice tab. The example tab in essence being an answer key. Let's take a look at it now. In prior presentations, we put the information on the left together, which is going to be where we're planning to put the data input for each of the transactions. We then plan on posting those transactions both to the center column of the trial balance and the general ledger to get a feel how both of those items will work. And then we've put together our accounts here in terms of our trial balance. We color coded them. Then we put together our trial balance numbers, talking about how we might set up with a starting set of numbers and how you might pick those. And then we went and entered the entries column, then the trial balance, adding a nice easy formula given the setup and format that we have put in place, that being that we have the debits as positive, credits as negative. Works really logistically well for software such as Excel spreadsheets, so you can have a very simplified formula to calculate the debits and credits, check numbers, and the net income. Then we went over here, and now we're going to be continuing on creating the general ledger, which if you're creating a worksheet like this is the most tedious part. The idea then here being that we want to get a feel for what the general ledger actually does in an accounting program, whether that be in Excel and or if you're looking at accounting software, it will in essence work basically the same way, how the things are going to basically fit together. That gives you a really good idea, no matter where you are, on how to think through basic problems with regards to the accounting process. So we started entering the data for the assets. Now we're going to do the same for the liabilities, formatting them similarly, but having that little difference in the color formatting with them. Going on over to the practice problem again. So we're going to go back on over here. Now also note that once we're completed with this entire thing, we're going to basically, I'm going to draw this balance down so that we can give our check number up top. We'll do that basically at the end, so I'll just keep it at my balance here. So we'll deal with that kind of issue. Just keep that in mind, that we're going to have to think about, well, how are we going to add these up when the balance is going to change each time? We'll talk about that later. So now we ended off over here. We've done all the accounts down to the liabilities. So now we got the accounts payable, and then we'll go through the draws down here. So I'm going to go back on over to the right-hand side. We left off here. Now the problem is now it's the same formatting, but now I want this not to be green, but I want it to be that orange color. So I'm going to make this top part, I'm going to go to the font group up top and just make it orange, the dark orange this time, and then not green on the lettering, but bright orange on the lettering. It's close to Halloween at this time, so it makes me feel like Halloween colors, which is nice. I'm festive right now, making my pumpkin colored worksheet. We got the font group. It's going to be orange and orange. So there we have that. And then we're going to say this is going to be equal to the account name up top, the account name, which is going to be accounts payable, and then the amount. Notice I'm never putting any negatives here. That's another benefit of using kind of the system. I never have to say, do I have to put a negative or something? I'm just going to say this equals, and the information, if it's a credit, will already be on this data on this side, and that'll work all the way through. We'll see that more as we work with the worksheet, but then we're going to make sure that you're picking it from column G. Then I'm going to copy this column over again. So I'm going to put my cursor on the V up top, and drag on over to Y, Control C, and scroll up, and I'm going to put that on the V column here. And then this one up top, I need it to be orange too. So I'm going to take this formatting, I'm going to format paint this one, and go over to the home page, clipboard format paint it. And then I'm just going to format paint that one right on down there. There we have it. Now the name we're going to put up top is now going to be equal to, the name is payroll liabilities. Nothing's in it, but I want to put that 0 and tie that 0 from the payroll liabilities way over here, payroll liabilities. Make sure you're picking that up. There we have it. Now notice, now that I'm working over on the right-hand side, I'm doing a lot of scrolling. So oftentimes when that is the case, and the reason I'm making this worksheet really a lot of information on the right. One reason is that we can hide cells quite easily that way. And so if I want to put my information closer to where my workspace is, I can say, okay, I'm going to hide these columns and just look at the cells I'm working on. So I could put my cursor on column J, for example, and then go on over to column U, let go. And I don't want to delete those. I want to right click and hide them. So I'm going to hide them. And that's really nice when you're working on a problem too, because anytime you want to kind of pull things together, you can hide some of the columns and just kind of pull things to where you want to see them closely. So now I can see these side by side. So there that is. That's nice. And that's nice. So I got that going for me, which is nice. And then we got the sales tax payable. And then down here, this 0 is going to be equal to that 0 right there. And then we'll do this again just for the draws. So I'm going to do the same thing, but now we got blue. So I'm going to put my cursor on column Z on over to AC, right click and copy that, or you can control C it, and I'm going to control V it right here in column AD1. And so let's hide now a couple more. I'm going to put my cursor on this skinny one, just on over to here, so I still have my example column there. Right click, let's hide those. So there we have it. Okay, so now I'm going to make these blue. I want to make it like this same color pattern. Needs to match like my shirt and my pants. Need to match somehow sometimes, even though I don't match them. But anyway, font group, we're going to say this is the drop down, and this is going to be, I think we use this dark blue, and then this is the font. That wasn't the font, that was the background, and then the font is the light blue, like so. And then these, same thing down here, we're going to say dark and the light blue, like so. And then I can just format paint that down to the next one, selecting that whole thing. Clipboard, format paint it, painting the format right over the top of things, just like painting a house. Now it's blue. It was festive pumpkin color before, but now it's blue. So now we're going to say owner's draws, and then this one's going to be, and then I got to take the balance. It's going to be equal to the balance in column G. And then we've got the owner's equity down here, which is going to be equal to owner's equity. And we'll pull over the balance, which is in the owner's equity. So there we have it. Let's stop it there. And then next time we'll continue this for the income statement, and we'll also basically sum up this whole thing as well. So we'll keep it there for now.